The morning of July 28th was unusually quiet for Cha Eunwoo. Seoul bustled as always, but for him, time felt suspended. The walls of his apartment, once filled with the hum of staff, makeup artists, and stylists preparing him for shoots, was suddenly still. He looked in the mirror, hand grazing over his freshly cut hair. The buzz cut revealed not only the sharp lines of his face, but also an unfamiliar vulnerability. He practiced a smile, the kind his fans adored, gentle, reassuring. But behind it, even he could feel the tremor of uncertainty. His phone buzzed one last time. Messages poured in from ASTIO members, friends, and colleagues. Some were playful. Don't forget we're waiting for you with chicken and beer when you're out. While others carried weight. Take care of yourself. Don't push too hard. Among the flood of words, one message stood out. Short. Simple. From Moon Ga-young. Fighting. Suho. Behind that smile, remember, it's okay to lean on others too. He didn't reply with much. Just a quiet, thank you. But as he slipped the phone into his pocket, that message stayed with him. The car ride to the military base was both ordinary and monumental. Streets passed by in a blur. Cafes where he had met friends. Billboards bearing his own image, a city that had witnessed his meteoric rise. Inside the car, the silence was broken only by the murmur of the radio. His manager drove, eyes fixed on the road, perhaps sensing Eunwoo needed this quiet. But Eunwoo's thoughts drifted. He remembered filming True Beauty with Ga-young, the way she had laughed between takes, telling him to relax those shoulders whenever the weight of expectations seemed to creep in. He remembered SDAO's concerts, the sea of purple light sticks shimmering like stars, and wondered if the stage lights of the military band could ever compare. As the base came into view, he straightened his back, inhaled deeply, and whispered to himself, smile. They need to see you smile. Crowds had already gathered outside the base gates. Fans held banners, photos, and letters. Some cried openly, others chanted encouragements. Cameras flashed the moment his car pulled up. Eunwoo stepped out, dressed simply in a white shirt and black slacks, his buzz cut catching the morning light. He bowed politely, the smile already in place. Reporters shouted questions. Any last words to your fans? Are you nervous? Will you keep singing in the military band? Eunwoo answered briefly but warmly. I'll serve well. Please stay healthy. Let's meet again with smiles. What no camera caught, however, was the flicker in his eyes as he scanned the crowd, not searching for anyone in particular, but carrying the quiet hope that certain people, though absent, were still cheering for him in spirit. While Eunwoo bowed at the gates, Ga-young sat in her apartment, watching the live broadcast on her tablet. She wasn't there in person. Her schedule and the inevitability of media speculation made that impossible. Still, she had placed a small candle on the table, a quiet ritual of support. She smiled when she saw him bow, whispering under her breath. There it is, the smile. He's braver than he thinks. She paused the video for a second, staring at his buzz cut. It was strange, seeing him like that. But instead of sadness, she felt pride. She knew what it meant to leave behind comfort, to step into duty. And though she couldn't text him now, she made a mental note. When he's able to receive letters, she'd write something simple, like, I'm rooting for you. Eat well. Stay strong. Once past the cameras and fans, the atmosphere shifted. Inside the base, Eunwoo became just another recruit. His white shirt was traded for a standard-issue uniform. His name tag read Lee Dong-minute, his birth name, stripped of the stage persona. The buzz of reporters faded into the shouts of drill instructors. Commands echoed. Line up. Face forward. He stood among strangers, young men from every corner of the country, each carrying their own anxieties. For a moment, Eunwoo felt anonymous. The idle facade melted away, leaving him simply as one of them. But even here, he found solace. In the corner of his locker, tucked carefully, was a folded piece of paper, the printed version of Ga-young's message, the last text he read. He kept it like a talisman. Meanwhile, fans outside the gates lingered. Some clutched their banners as if unwilling to let go. Others posted on social media, Our Eunwoo looks so handsome even with short hair, or I'll wait for you no matter how long it takes. One fan tweeted a comparison photo, Eunwoo smiling in uniform versus Eunwoo smiling in true beauty. The caption read, "Different roles, same warmth." The post went viral within hours. And in the replies, fans tagged Gayoung. Ju-kyung, are you watching? Why did Eunwoo insist on smiling, even in such a heavy moment? Perhaps it was instinct, his way of protecting fans from worry. Perhaps it was discipline, the performer in him refusing to break character. But maybe, just maybe, it was also a promise. A promise that no matter how long the distance, he would return with the same warmth. A smile, after all, is universal. A language that bridges the gap between stage and barracks, between absence and presence, between him and the people waiting. Later that evening, when the buzz of enlistment coverage had quieted, Gayoung posted a single photo on Instagram. It wasn't of herself, nor anything flashy. Just a picture of the sky at dusk, soft orange fading into deep blue. Fans flooded the comments. Some thought it was a poetic reflection of her own day. Others, more romantic, believed it was a quiet nod to Eunwoo, a reminder that night and distance are temporary, but new beginnings always come. Gayoung, of course, never clarified. But in that ambiguity lay the beauty, support that didn't need to be shouted, only felt. The farewell smile was more than a gesture for fans or mask for his own nerves. It was a bridge between Eunwoo the idol and Lee Do-minute the soldier, between the world he left behind and the one awaiting him, between the people who could stand at his side and those who could only watch from afar. And somewhere in that delicate balance, Moon Gayoung's quiet presence lingered. Whether through a text, a thought, or a simple sunset post, her support became part of the story, unseen by cameras but deeply felt in the spaces between. Because behind every smile lies a story. And for Eunwoo, on that day of farewell, part of that story was written not just by him, but also by those who chose to believe in him from afar. Behind the smile, Eunwoo's transition into military service and how Moon Gayoung could play a supportive role from afar. When Eunwoo, the beloved ASTIO member and actor, stepped into the military training camp earlier this summer, fans around the world watched with pride and a bittersweet ache. Known for his dazzling smile and seemingly effortless charm, Eunwoo had long been the golden boy of Korean entertainment, an idol, an actor, and an icon. But beneath the polished image lay a man about to embrace one of the most defining journeys of his life, his mandatory military service. Alongside this transition, another figure quietly remained in the public's imagination, Moon Gayoung, his true beauty co-star, close friend, and someone many fans still associate with him in whispers of what if. Though she did not accompany him to the base, Gayoung's presence, through her projects, her public gestures, and even subtle social media activity, suggests a form of support that transcends physical distance. This story explores Eunwoo's enlistment journey, his unique path in the military band, and how Moon Gayoung could be playing a supportive role from afar, weaving fact and speculation into a portrait of connection